Like, especially, we think we've got to figure out if Denver wins on Monday Night Football, the Jags are eliminated from any chance of any miracle happening,
Correct.
right? And they'd be too far behind. And if that's the case, it's not just the shoulder now. It's the head, the combination of the two. I don't doubt that Trevor Lawrence will want to play through it, but I'm kind of with you at this point now. I understood hey, anything can happen.
Right.
If we beat the Texans, we draw one game closer, no matter how unrealistic it is. But this loss basically was the nail in the coffin for any postseason hopes.
Yeah, I don't even think it's a big decision by ownership or even the guys in the front office. You just invested your future into your franchise player. And, we're talking about a brain injury. It just makes sense to shut him down. I mean, what do you get for putting him out there other than risking his entire livelihood? So that would be my call, but I don't get that decision to make.
Final score today, Texans 23, Jaguars 20. Plenty ahead. We'll break down this game. A comeback effort today. Mac Jones came in the game, of course, after Trevor Lawrence. We'll break that down, all coming up. But unfortunately, another loss, 5 in a row now for the Jags. And they're 2-10. They are out of the division title race officially with today's loss. This is Jaguars Postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Maximize your energy savings with a new energy-efficient heating and cooling system from Florida Home Air Conditioning, and you could save up to $4,500 through possible tax credits and other discounts. Purchase a new system today, and Florida Home Air Conditioning will buy back your old inefficient HVAC system. Request your complimentary consultation from Florida Home Air Conditioning, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit FloridaHomeAC.com for details, terms, and conditions.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
Tackle your marketing needs with Kessler Creative. Providing direct mail services for more than a decade, Kessler has a wide range of services from small mailers to large banners and signs. Draft Kessler as your first pick to receive the best targeted mail list. Elevate your business and be on the winning team with Kessler Creative. Kessler Creative. Results-driven marketing and proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey fans, it's Tyson Campbell, cornerback for the Jacksonville Jaguars. This season, your game day is getting even tastier with Al's Pizza in the stadium. And every time we get a pick, you'll score. If the Jaguars get one interception, you'll enjoy buy one, get one free pizza at any Al's Pizza location Monday through Thursday after the home game. 2 interceptions, a free dessert. And 3 interceptions, that's a free appetizer. Just tell them you want the Jags pick. Up your game and get your Al's Pizza at the game or any of their locations.
Brooks Rehabilitation is proud to be the official rehabilitation partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We are here for them, and we are here for you. Ranked #1 physical rehabilitation hospital in Florida by U.S. News and World Report, our playbook is individualized treatment and exceptional care to get you back to living your life. Brooks has cutting-edge technology and therapy solutions in every care setting, treating sports injury, orthopedics, brain, spinal injuries, and more. Go beyond your expectations with Brooks Rehabilitation.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC continues. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor. We're at the Hyundai Studios after Jaguars lost to the Texans 23-20, the final score. Bucky Brooks standing by at Everbank Stadium. We'll get to him coming up with head coach Doug Peterson after the head coach visits with the media today. Plenty to discuss in this game. Another loss by 5 points or less, the 7th this season for the Jaguars. A lot of close games, a lot of close losses. Now 5 straight losses for the Jags, who fall to 2-10, eliminated from division title contention, not officially fully eliminated from the playoffs as of yet, but they're knocking on the door, that's for sure. Jaguars defense today, Fred, there were moments in this game, obviously, that Ben Don't Break was back, and they gave up a couple field goals in the first half and doing what they could to keep this game close and keep them out of the end zone early in this football game.
Yeah, I thought they did well on third down early in the game. I would have hoped that I was hoping that I was able to call downstairs and say, hey, guys, do you see what's going on first down? They're only targeting Dalton Schultz and Nico Collins. If you guys pin in on those guys, you give yourself an opportunity. Yet I thought they still played well earlier on. It's just the offense who, has had pretty much this similar start the past several weeks, or the entire season actually, where the defense is out there doing well. They're trying to hold the opponents, and the offense isn't giving them much of anything. But third down, they played great, but they should be more cognizant of defensive awareness, who the other team wants to get the ball to. And I think they could have been a bit more successful if they had recognized it earlier.
It's like a normal defensive performance you get in the NFL, right? I mean, it wasn't like they went up and down the field on them. They held them to 23 points. You win a lot of games when you hold your opponent to 23. 5 of 13 on third down, so it's okay. Nothing spectacular, and they were 1 of 1 on fourth down. It really, all that, it comes down, if they stop Joe Mixon on that last run, they're going to have a chance to go down and at least tie the game, Fred, if not maybe steal a win.
Yeah, that's the big part. But that's what you practice for these situations, these moments. We talked about 4-minute. Yes. The last time we played the Texans, it was a 4-minute opportunity, but it was in the offense's hand. Now this time around, it's on the defensive side of the ball, and they wasn't able to get it done, whether it's the first game or this game, and here you have a Texan sweep for the season. So you get what, your preparation or lack thereof, these things show in the brighter moments of the game when you need to make a play.
We're talking about this week coming out of the bye week, hey, what changes are they going to make? And they weren't going to really be too detailed in telling everybody, but they blitzed the first play of the game, remember? And had the hit on C.J. Stroud and his ribs there. That was a little different. This is one of the fewest, lowest blitz rate teams in the NFL, which was they had some Andre Sisco wasn't out there, some at safety. They rotated those guys in today, Fred. So just a couple at least from 10,000 feet looking at it.
Yeah, I mean, that was – I guess it was encouraging to see Lloyd go and get that big shot on C.J. on the first play of the game. But then they eventually sort of get back to what they're used to doing.
Right.
We got back to a few plays later, back to coverage, back to allowing the tight end to have big plays and Schultz, back to the opening of the center of the field with that soft coverage, and the Texans pretty much exploited that. They took their shots with Nico Collins on first down to give them some momentum there. So, look, we're 12 games in. We're 2-10. The Jaguars, who they are. You can't hide from anybody on film. You've put it out there. You've had 3 big blowouts. You've had the close games that we've mentioned. But they are who they are. You can't run away from high percentage plays. So if I'm a coach, I'm looking at what do they do. We know they run zone. We know they sprinkle in a few blitzes here and there. We just got to be patient. We're going to take our shot when they present themselves.
Let's come back. We'll get into the offensive performance today. Parker Washington, over 100 yards. And a losing effort, though, unfortunately, today. 23-20 the final. Texans over the Jaguars, a fall to a record of 2-10. And coming up, Bucky Brooks standing by. Head coach Doug Peterson will visit with the media and then visit with Bucky. We'll have that conversation for you in just a little bit. It's Jaguars Postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
The Jaguars bring performance, strength, and passion to every play. And you'll find the same when you bank with EverBank. Open an EverBank Performance Savings account and score serious savings. See what you could earn at everbank.com/Jaguars. EverBank, advantage you. Member FDIC and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
To aim higher, run faster. It's what elite athletes do. Always strive for better. At UF Health, we have that same DNA to not just treat a stroke, but to create a fleet of mobile stroke treatment units, to not just do research, but to use AI to save lives with one of the most powerful supercomputers in academia. We believe, like athletes, that human progress has no finish line. UF Health, National Medical Center for Team USA.
Something happens when you begin to believe. What seems way off in the distance gets closer.
You focus on what needs to get done, and you'll let nothing get in your way.
Next year becomes this year, and maybe next time becomes now.
A whole city will rally behind you and begin to believe too. Because when you believe, the unbelievable can happen. We believe in justice for everyone, and we believe we're the attorneys to help people get it. Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars. Jacksonville.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today. Official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Final score, Texans 23, Jaguars 20. Texans now 8-5. They sweep the season series over the Jaguars, who fall to 2-10. The seventh loss by 5 points or less this season for the Jags' fifth loss in a row. And the Jaguars now eliminated from division title contention. They have a very small sliver of hope still for a wild card. It would be a long shot, but not officially fully eliminated from playoff contention. But they're as close as you can get after today's loss. Jaguars offense today, of course, Trevor Lawrence left the game with a head injury. It was 4 of 10, 41 yards, an interception in the game. And then Mac Jones came in. His numbers finished at 20 of 32 passing, 235, and 2 touchdowns. Parker Washington, 12 targets, 6 catches, 103 today. Fred, a career high, and his first 100-yard game in his career. Had a touchdown also. Had another one that probably should have been caught in front left corner. And what about Parker Washington's day and this offense as a whole after Trevor Lawrence left? That changed the whole dynamic.
Yeah, no, it's really about opportunities and these guys taking advantage of it. Even Mac Jones, someone who hadn't played in over a year in terms of snap count. But Parker, he took advantage of his opportunities, made some really good catches, had a drop here or there, but ultimately he took advantage of that. What we do know is Brian Thomas Jr. is for real. Like, he's an amazing talent. How could Mac overthrow him on what should have potentially been a touchdown there on a deep post? Wow. But yeah, the Jags, despite the guys that are not there, when you talk about Gabe Davis, Christian Kirk, those guys, the guys that have an opportunity to get in there and step up, I think they're making the most of those opportunities. So it's not a consolation, but you do want to acknowledge that these guys are out there trying to fight and win and make some stuff happen.
I don't even blame Mac Jones for overthrowing Brian Thomas. I'm sure, right, in practice they're like, just throw it as far as you can.
Right.
You can't overthrow this guy, and the timing just wasn't there. But I give Mac Jones some credit here. The Jags had 2 abysmal offensive performances the last 2 times out, and he threw for almost as many yards today. Man, not that close, but close to the 2-game total that the entire Jaguar offense was able to put up over those last couple of games. Did it cold off the bench, and what was he, 20 out of 32? Yep. Probably had a couple of drops in there as well. So I thought he did a really nice job off the bench.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. But to see him going in those pressured situations, calm and relax. Just looking at Mac's body language, he's a guy who's won before. He came in his rookie year, made Pro Bowl. He's capable. And again,
Doug, can you update us on Trevor's condition, and were you able to talk to him at all post-game?
Yeah, I haven't talked to the docs yet. I did see him at halftime. He was moving around and everything, and we'll be fine. He'll obviously go into the protocol, but I haven't talked to him here after the game yet.
You've obviously been in this league a long time as a player and a coach. Where does that hit that he took rank for you in terms of dirty hits?
Well, look, it's a play that nobody wants to see in our league, obviously. Because you see what happens, after the fact, and it just escalates. And I've got a lot of respect for Coach Ryans, and I mean, I know he doesn't coach his team that way. We don't coach our team that way, and It's unfortunate. It really is. It's unfortunate. You know, and I'm just glad that Trevor's going to be fine. He'll obviously be in the protocol, but it's just an unfortunate play.
To follow up on that, Doug, has there been any thought? I know it's really early, but has there been any thought on shutting Trevor down, considering his shoulder, considering the latest injury?
I mean, it's 30 minutes after the game, so I haven't thought about that. Yeah.
And then also, it was announced in the middle of the game, Jerry Mack is taking a job at Kennesaw State. Can you confirm that? And what was your conversation like with him?
Yeah, I'm excited for Jerry. It's a great opportunity for him to become a head coach again in college football and at Kennesaw State. And I just thank Jerry for, what he's done here. And he's really, changed that running back room and has done some really good things for us and wish him well. And I'm excited. I'm excited for him to be able to watch him, continue his career as a head coach now.
Doug, Mac seemed to get into a groove a little bit there in the fourth quarter. He cut it to 3. How difficult a decision was it to kick off instead of try for the onside kick there and try to see if he could continue what he was doing?
Yeah, I mean, it obviously was a thought, to do that, but we still had a couple of timeouts and still had some time left on the clock. So, just the decision to go deep and put our defense back out there and try to get one more stop, But, it was we talked about it quickly, but elected to kick it deep.
Doug, after all you and this team has been through this season, what was it like in your thought in your mind when you saw Trevor go down like that, especially on a hit so egregious?
Well, I was excited for Trevor to get back out there, and start for our team and lead our football team. This week, that was always the goal. Was to shoot for the Houston game and get him back out there. And it's just again, it's unfortunate. It's a play that really has no business being in our league. And I thought the officials did a great job of doing the best they could to get control of it, and all of that. But again, just trying to getting Trevor in a comfortable situation, getting him back out there, trying to get some momentum on offense, and obviously, that happens, and it takes a little wind out of your sails. But on the flip side of that too, Matt came in and got us back in the football game. So proud of that too.
Follow up. When you see what happened in the aftermath, is that something that you just kind of feel like, hey, that's just a byproduct when somebody sees their quarterback get hit like that? That's just going to be the natural reaction.
Yeah, you see it at every level of football, right? When the quarterback gets hit, at that magnitude, it just escalates. And obviously, Jarian, on our side, he can't do what he did either, right? That's unacceptable as well. And I know the league will, probably send out fines for both players and maybe some others. But I again, there's when you see that, yes, it does. And plus, it's a division game, right? It's a division game, and it's an emotional football game as it is. But at the same time, we've got to. You have to be the bigger person. You got to be the bigger man in situations like that, and just fortunate that nobody else was ejected from the game.
Doug, way in the back, Will Brown, Jacksonville today. Last 3 home games, the defense has had an opportunity late in the fourth quarter to either get a stop or get off the field to extend the game or give you all a chance to try and win the game. Is it something schematic? Is it execution that keeps leading to you all not being able to get off the field in those third down situations less than 5 minutes to go?
As a player, number one, you got to understand the situation. Schematically, we look at it as coaches and make sure, we're putting our players in situations and to be successful. Obviously, we'll take a look at the tape tomorrow. I'll have probably a better answer for you tomorrow on this. But just knowing and understanding the situation, you do everything you can, to try to get off the field, and give credit to Houston for executing that play and staying on the field.
Doug, what were your thoughts on Walker Little getting his contract extension?
Excited for Walker. it's a great opportunity for him. I think it just shows the commitment the organization has and the type of player that he is, to really get him locked up. And I think for him too. I mean, it's a little peace of mind knowing he'll be here, for the long haul. So I'm excited for him and his family. It's a great opportunity, great for the organization, obviously, and our team, and excited for him.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
We are done in this room.
To now drop their 5th consecutive game to fall to a record of 2-10. They have been officially eliminated from division title contention with the loss. Head coach Doug Peterson is now heading down the hallway, and he'll sit down with Bucky Brooks here in a moment as the Jaguars enter December and have another loss on the ledger today to fall to a record of 2-10. Houston, of course, leading the way in the AFC South. Some other scores around the division today. The Colts went for two late and beat the Patriots to improve to 6-7, 25-24. The final score, and the Tennessee Titans with a loss today, 42-19 to the Washington Commanders. Of course, Houston a winner here today over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jags with 5 games remaining, 3 of those in the division, 2 of those against Tennessee coming up. But today, the loss to the Houston Texans. Season sweep for Houston. Quarterback Trevor Lawrence out of the ball game with a head injury. Mac Jones had to come in to finish it today in a losing effort. And let's head back to Everbank Stadium. Bucky Brooks standing by live with head coach Doug Peterson. Bucky?
Coach, before we get your thoughts on the game, a quick thought on the hit for Trevor and how Trevor's doing.
Yeah, it's I just telling the media in there that it's unfortunate, and those are plays that the league, we don't like to see, right? I mean, it just there's no place, in our game for hits like that. The quarterback's giving himself up. I mean, it's just it's unfortunate, and then it escalates, right? It's the Houston Texans, Jacksonville Jaguars. It's a division game. Emotions are running high anyway, and we all saw what happens after, and I'm just glad Trevor's going to be fine. Obviously, be in the protocol this week, and see where he goes from there. But just unfortunate.
Yeah, it obviously puts a damper on the game, but overall, your thoughts on the game and the way the game played out after that?
Well, I mean, I thought Mac did a much better job. He came in and did a great job getting us back in this football game, and I think the one thing too, we're still making some mistakes. I mean, out there, I mean, we busted coverage for a late touchdown, things like that, and just our execution of things, that we still got to continue to clean up. And it's kind of haunted us all season. It just it's plagued us, but was optimistic that the defense would get a stop there at the end with under 2 minutes and give the offense a chance to get the ball back and see, at least go down and try to tie the game. But, the guys hung in there. They battled. A lot of guys got injured, went back into the game, played tough, played physical, and it's just things that have sort of haunted us, all season and continue to show up.
Coach, is one of the most unbelievable things to sit and look. 7 games have been lost by 5 points or fewer. We always tell guys, hey, no such thing as losses, lessons, but what are the lessons that you can take? You have 7 losses by 5 points or fewer, and you talk about things that continue to show up. Like, what are the lessons that you can take from this to teach the team how to eventually get over the top?
Yeah, I wish I had that crystal ball, honestly. And then there's teams in the league that it goes the other way. And you look at the Chiefs, right? There's 13 or 14 wins.
Yeah, 14 straight.
Like and it's just it comes down to a mindset. It comes down to just saying enough's enough. Just saying that we're gonna fight to the end. We're gonna find a way. We're gonna make a play. Somebody's gonna make a play to change the outcome of the game, whatever it might be. That's what we got to get to, and we got to get enough guys, I think, and I think the guys do. I do believe that they believe in their hearts that they're gonna win these games. I mean, it's not like, heck, I mean, it's not like they don't think they can't. Mm-hmm. I just don't want it to get into their minds that, hey, if something goes bad,
here we go again.
Here we go again mentality. That has to. That's where it has to start, right? That thinking has to go away, and we can't be there. And I don't think the guys are at that point right now. Obviously, the way our season is, and we still have 5 games. I mean, 3 of them obviously division games, and we can still win out, and 7-9 or whatever, 7-10, I guess, and see what happens. But just you're playing for pride. You're playing for an opportunity to just represent yourself, the organization, and go play hard and try to win a game.
Sometimes in these seasons you have young guys to step up, and so Brian Thomas Jr., Parker Washington had really solid games. Like, what have you seen from them in their development over the course of the years, young guys having opportunities? Just
great players that they're very capable. That's what we've seen on film from them, and both those guys had great games today, and excited for them. I mean, they're two. Obviously BT was drafted first round player. I mean, you can see the first round talent, right? I mean, it's going to be great to really see him and Trevor evolve over time, and see what they can do. And Parker's really, I think, solidified a spot, a position. I mean, in that room. I mean, he's an impact player, and he plays hard. He plays tough. He makes outstanding catches, and really does a great job. So it's positive to see those two guys, really make an impact on the game.
Final thing, you talked about like 5 games left. Like, how do you pick the team up, and how do you try and get them going to build into next season? How do you approach the season with the right mindset?
Well, the first thing is I want them to spend these next couple of days really thinking about their performance. It has to start with each individual, and it's the same with me. I've got to, how can I do a better job? How can I help this team win, and look at that. And so we all have to do that and spend time doing that, and really, when we do get back together, it's a mindset of, you just have to flush the bat and just focus on the next opponent, right? You got to focus on Tennessee and get ready, because it's these games are still coming, and nobody, like we've said this before, nobody's going to feel sorry for us. Nobody's going to throw in the towel. I don't want our guys to throw in the towel. I'm not going to let them throw in the towel. I'm going to keep pushing them. I'm going to keep challenging them, and this will be good for the leadership of the team, right? It'll be good for those guys to say, hey, jump on our backs, ride our backs, because if I'm saying it as the coach, I want them to say it as players and go, hey guys, we gotta get this thing, we gotta get this thing turned around and finish on a high note.
Well, hopefully we can finish well next week, and then the win.
Thank you.
All right, Bucky Brooks with head coach Doug Peterson at Everbank Stadium after Jaguars lost today to the Houston Texans 23-20. Plenty ahead as we continue. This is Jaguars Postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
William is one of millions of Americans who uses GoodRx to save on the cost of their prescriptions.
My oldest daughter, Camilla, 2 days old, she had to have open heart surgery. All of a sudden, she's on 5 different medications. It adds up at the end of the month. Me and the pharmacist got so tight. She said, GoodRx save you a lot of money. Saving that extra $200-300 a month. We're able to do all these extra activities, so it puts less stress on our household, and it puts less stress on our pockets.
Download the free app or visit GoodRx.com and start saving today. GoodRx user compensated for their time. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance.
Want to be up close and personal with the Jaguars as they take the field? Here's your chance to be in the shadows, outside the Jaguars locker room, now called The Vault. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows. One winner and a guest for every home game at Everbank Stadium. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents in 50 United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry periods for the Shadow Sweepstakes promotion from 8/19/24 to 12/15/24. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsored administrator, Everbank NA, member FDIC.
Are you ready for some football? Well, you are now, thanks to Ticketmaster. As the official ticket marketplace of the Jacksonville Jaguars and the NFL, Ticketmaster's got the best way to take it to the house when it comes to being there live. They're the safest and most convenient marketplace to score fully verified Jaguars tickets. And even if your plans get broken up or worse, turned over, Ticketmaster gives you more flexibility to sell your seats. So get those touchdown celebrations ready and score your tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Jaguars.
A gift this good takes a while to unwrap. Get your best gift ever during the Toyotathon sales event before it's too late. Get 3.99% APR for 36 months on the new 2024 Toyota RAV4 Hybrid. Offer valid through December 2nd, 2024. Zero down for well-qualified buyers with approved credit and financing through Southeast Toyota Finance. $29.52 monthly payment for every $1,000 financed. Excludes tax, tag, registration, title, and dealer fees. See dealer for details. Toyota, let's go places.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor from the Hyundai Studios after a Jaguars loss to the Texans 23-20. We just heard from head coach Doug Peterson with Bucky Brooks. Fred, stood out. Anything?
Just his encouraging comments about Mac Jones and acknowledging and recognizing the first-round talent and a great draft pick in Brian Thomas Jr., a kid who I like to see alongside, and he mentioned alongside Trevor in the years to come. I think they could to do some big things. We have to continue to put pieces around them and give them opportunity to show their talents, which the potential is there, but I just think they need more opportunities.
Yeah, and he also mentioned Parker Washington earning a spot in that wide receiver room.
Yeah.
You know, there was a report prior to or right after Christian Kirk got hurt that had he made it through that game, they were getting ready to trade him to the Pittsburgh Steelers. So who knows what the offseason holds for Kirk. I mean, you could be looking at a very significant role for Parker Washington in the future.
Let's take a look at the final stats today, and the Jaguars in a losing effort. 23-20, the final score today. Texans now 8-5, Jaguars 2-10. Total yardage 373 to 326 in favor of the Jaguars. They, of course, had a lot of that trying to fight back, throwing it down the field late. The rushing yardage 108 to 97 in favor of Houston, 276 to 218. The passing yardage in favor of the Jaguars. Third downs, Houston 5 of 13, Jaguars 5 of 15. The Texans had 20 first downs to the Jaguars 19. Penalties 3 for 15 yards against the Texans, 4 for 30 against the Jags. 1 turnover, the Lawrence interception, underthrown ball. Time of possession 32 minutes 17 seconds in favor of the Houston Texans today, who sweep the Jaguars for the season.
And individually, Mac Jones led the way at the quarterback position, obviously, with Trevor Lawrence going out early. Lawrence was 4 of 10 for 41 yards. Underthrew that ball to Brian Thomas. It got intercepted. Mac Jones came in 20 of 32, 235, pair of touchdowns, 105.6 quarterback rating. Compare that pretty favorably to C.J. Stroud, 22 of 34, 242, 1 touchdown, no interceptions on that side. Jaguars did not allow a sack, by the way, of either quarterback while they were in there. Today, Travis Etienne carried it 13 times for 46 yards. And Tank Bigsby, 7 for 28. Joe Mixon on the other side, his final carry put him over 100 yards on the day, 20 for 101. Parker Washington had the 6 for 103 and a score. Brian Thomas Jr., 4 for 76 and a touchdown, 7 catches for Evan Ingram with 41 yards. Nico Collins led the way for Houston, 8 for 119. Dalton Schultz, 5 for 61 with a touchdown. And as we mentioned earlier, the 2 sacks for Jacksonville coming from the guys you'd expect, Trayvon Walker and Josh Hines-Allen.
Final stats are in. The Jaguars Radio Network is presented by UF Health. University of Florida Health is the proud healthcare partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Player of the game voting when we return after a 23-20 loss for the Jaguars to the Houston Texans. It's Jaguars postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Maximize your energy savings with a new energy-efficient heating and cooling system from Florida Home Air Conditioning, and you could save up to $4,500 through possible tax credits and other discounts. Purchase a new system today, and Florida Home Air Conditioning will buy back your old inefficient HVAC system. Request your complimentary consultation from Florida Home Air Conditioning, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit FloridaHomeAC.com for details, terms, and conditions.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
Hey fans, it's Tyson Campbell, cornerback for the Jacksonville Jaguars. This season, your game day is getting even tastier with Al's Pizza in the stadium. And every time we get a pick, you'll score. If the Jaguars get one interception, you'll enjoy buy one, get one free pizza at any Owl's Pizza location Monday through Thursday after the home game. 2 interceptions, a free dessert. And 3 interceptions, that's a free appetizer. Just tell them you want the Jags pick. Up your game and get your Owl's Pizza at the game or any of their locations.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor from the Hyundai Studios after a Jags 23-20 loss to the Texans. 5th straight loss for the Jags to fall to a record of 2-10 out of division title contention this season. And time now for the Jaguars Radio Network Player of the Game voting. I get a vote, Mike gets a vote, Fred gets a vote and a half to break any deadlocks. What do you like, Mike?
I think there are several good options here today, but I'm going to go with Mac Jones. I mean, as much as we are rightfully criticized his poor play for the last 2 times out where he started, coming off the bench cold here today and, rallied the troops, put him in position. Who knows if Cam Little makes that field goal? Yeah. What happens the rest of the way? You just don't know. But, I thought he played clearly his best performance in a Jaguar uniform and gave the Jags a chance, put up 14 points in the 4th quarter. So Mac Jones easy for me.
Brad?
You looking at me, JP?
I am.
Ah, man, I want to go, I'm going to go with Mac Jones. I think it's a tough P.J. Washington, I just want to acknowledge him. I thought he had a good game. But Mac, like you said, Mike, to be able to come in there cold and to lead this team down, you throw 2 touchdowns. Pretty much you outperformed last year's Rookie of the Year. And C.J. Stroud, I just thought he had an amazing game. He was a leader. He showed courage getting out there. So Mac has my vote.
They haven't done anything on offense the last 2 games at all.
No.
And they today surpassed 2 games worth of offense. So, yeah, Mac Jones, the Jaguars Radio Network Player of the Game, 20 of 32 passing, 235 yards, 2 touchdowns, 105.6 rating, off the bench cold in relief of the injured Trevor Lawrence. If you're looking for the MVP of the truck game, look no further than Ford F-150, loaded with impressive capability and designed to dominate work, play, and everything in between. This truck makes tough look easy. Your local Ford dealer, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Baptist Health Injury Report when we return. It's Jaguars postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Maximize your energy savings with a new energy-efficient heating and cooling system from Florida Home Air Conditioning, and you could save up to $4,500 through possible tax credits and other discounts. Purchase a new system today, and Florida Home Air Conditioning will buy back your old inefficient HVAC system. Request your complimentary consultation from Florida Home Air Conditioning, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit FloridaHomeAC.com for details, terms, and conditions.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
Jaguars fans, huddle up for the best defense against expensive car repairs, CarShield. Score big with the nation's #1 automotive protection company, CarShield. They offer affordable plans covering repairs on up to 5,000 parts and systems in your car, truck, or SUV. Don't miss any Jaguars action this season with a car breakdown. Call 800-471-1223. Coverage varies by plans. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
It's game time, Jaguars fans, and Publix knows that football is all about pairings. a high-scoring offense paired with a stingy defense, a rocket-armed QB paired with a dynamic wide receiver. And at Publix, you can pair hot deli chicken tenders with savory dips, delicious sub platters with ice-cold beverages, and you can pair these tailgate essentials with an entire parking lot full of Jaguars fans chanting, Duval! Gear up for your tailgate at Publix, the official supermarket of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Stuck on what to do with a plumbing issue? Just call the Duck. Duck Rooter are experts at plumbing and are a 5-star Google-rated company. You name it, they do it. Water heater replacements to sewer drain cleaning, leaks to repipes. Fully licensed and insured with highly trained technicians. Trust the Duck to fix it right. Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic Services.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
A quality replacement window made with Fibrance material, which is 2 times stronger than vinyl, delivered through a stress-free process. Welcome to Renewal by Anderson. Get the peace of mind knowing Renewal by Anderson handles everything from start to finish. With one call, you'll enjoy working with the best people, exclusive products, and superior process. It's the people, it's the process, it's the product. For a limited time, buy one, get one 40% off all windows and doors, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. JP Shadrick with Mike Dempsey and prior to the Jaguars running back Fred Taylor. We're at the Hyundai Studios after a Jags lost 23-20 to the Houston Texans. Jags now 2-10. Out of division title contention officially, but still a sliver of hope for a wild card. It is a long shot. They are not eliminated altogether as of this moment. The injury report presented by Baptist Health, changing healthcare for good. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence with a head injury. Head coach Doug Peterson said, of course, he'll be in the protocol this week. We'll see about that moving ahead. Some others on the list today. Left leg issue for Tyson Campbell in the third quarter. And then Darnell Savage also came off the field in the third quarter as well, in a secondary that was starting to kind of shift some things around. We'll see what those guys' status are. Obviously, number one is Trevor Lawrence. And Fred, you came right out of the gate on this show saying they should probably look at sitting him down for the rest of the year. Well, this week, I mean, we'll see how the week goes, but coming in with a left shoulder injury to begin with, and then there were questions about whether, okay, is he even going to play this week? And then now with a head injury, there's a lot on the plate now for Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I mean, you look at what the Dolphins did with Tua, and, he sat out 4 weeks. I believe it was 4 weeks that Tua sat out. And they had some big questions surrounding Tua about his career, his life, and it sort of superseded football at that moment. And these are serious injuries, especially when you go into the fencing position. And for the people out there that aren't familiar with it, it's when your body locks up after you've had a concussion. So I think for me, when you weigh the season, where we are, the point in which where we are in the season, it's 5 games remaining. The playoffs opportunity slim. You mentioned no division chances. Yep. So what's the benefit? I guess that would be the biggest question. Even in that moment, Doug was there talking to Bucky. He said, we'll evaluate and we'll see where we stand. But again, I probably would lean closer to, what's the benefit at this particular point? So I'm sure they'll make the right decision when they weigh everything. But more than that, Trevor has to be okay. They want to check in with him, make sure he's okay today, tomorrow, and going forward. So it's for me, it's an easy decision, but I think it's priority over everything else.
Yeah, look, his long-term health is a huge priority for this football team. There's no question about it. His short-term health is important as well. And I think, Fred, if you're going to do this, you almost have to just take the decision out of his hands. You know what I mean? You can't, because I think Trevor's going to be a guy who goes, hey, all right, so let's say I miss next week. Well, why can't I finish out the season?
Nope.
Because I'm the quarterback, right? Nope. And you're going to have to put the brakes on him because I think he's going to want to play.
Yeah, he's a winner, and that's what he's always done. So I know 2 letters that'll stop all of that, and it's IR. and then he doesn't stand a chance in this fight. So I believe that's the way I would trend if I was upper management.
We'll see what happens in the coming days with that. We're back in a moment with a preview of next week's trip to Nashville, Music City, USA. The Jaguars and the Titans coming up next week. It's Jaguars Postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
To aim higher, run faster. It's what elite athletes do. Always strive for better. At UF Health, we have that same DNA. To not just treat a stroke, but to create a fleet of mobile stroke treatment units. To not just do research, but to use AI to save lives with one of the most powerful supercomputers in academia. We believe, like athletes, that human progress has no finish line. UF Health, National Medical Center for Team USA.
The Jaguars bring performance, strength, and passion to every play. And you'll find the same when you bank with EverBank. Open an EverBank Performance Savings account and score serious savings. See what you could earn at everbank.com/Jaguars. EverBank, advantage you. Member FDIC and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Something happens when you begin to believe. What seems way off in the distance gets closer.
You focus on what needs to get done, and you'll let nothing get in your way.
Next year becomes this year, and maybe next time becomes now.
A whole city will rally behind you and begin to believe too.
Because when you believe, the unbelievable can happen. We believe in justice for everyone, and we believe we're the attorneys to help people get it. Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars, Jacksonville.
A gift this good takes a while to unwrap. Get your best gift ever during the Toyotathon sales event before it's too late. Lease a new 2024 Toyota RAV4 LE Hybrid for $359 a month for 36 months. Offer valid through December 2nd, 2024. Well-qualified lessees with approved credit through Southeast Toyota Finance. 3658 Duet signing. No security deposit with select equipment. $350 disposition fee. Excludes tax, tag, registration, title, and dealer fees. See dealer for details. Toyota. Let's go places.
The Jaguars Radio Network is presented by UF Health. University of Florida Health is the proud healthcare partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and it's Jaguars postgame. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor from the Hyundai Studios. The 50-50 raffle is brought to you by Duval Ford, and at least somebody will be a happy camper today leaving the stadium. Total jackpot over $31,000, $15,681 to the winner, with the number 570-735-84171. Good luck. Congratulations to the winner. We'll get to next week's game in a moment, but before the game today, Walker Little gets the bag, Fred.
Ching, ching, ching.
The left tackle. What do you think?
You know what? Tackles of you need that position to be successful in this game. You want to protect your quarterback. They've invested the big money into Trevor, so you want to protect him. So Walker, I think he's earned the right to have that sort of contract. And as Mike was just here alluding to, not a lot of options out there. So the Jaguars went and say, all right, we're going to make this decision. We're going to lock up our guy, and we're going to look at our roster going forward from this point. So, again, I'm all for guys getting paid. Just, it's a testament to their hard work. And Walker, he's done that. Guys have been in and out the lineup. When they call him up, he goes out there. He does well. He's been there. He's been competing. He knows the system. And he's going to be in Jacksonville for a little longer. So congrats to Walker.
A lot of speculation about any changes that Shad Khan might make to the front office, coaching staff. We don't know what is going to happen, right?
Correct.
But Trent Baalke's been a guy who typically doesn't do contract extensions in season. Now, I understand Walker Little's going to be a pending free agent, and if you really look at the list, he might end up if he hadn't signed this, as one of the 2 or 3 most attractive options on the market. But does it say anything to you, Fred, about where Shad Khan's mindset is with Trent Baalke? That, I'm sure Trent Baalke goes, hey, Shad, we want to sign this guy to a $45 million contract. It's your money. If you are inclined to be turning over your front office, I don't know if you're making this move, if you're not saying, hey, if I am going to do it, I'm going to let the new guy decide.
Right.
So is this a signal that maybe Trent Baalke is not in a bad spot with Shadrick.
You know, that part of it is hard to tell. You know, maybe they can line it up and say from a, mathematics standpoint, this makes sense. You know, Shad is a businessman first and foremost. He's going to look at numbers, revenues, expenses, net, and all that different stuff. So maybe when it comes down to number crunches, this makes the most decision. A guy who's capable of playing well. I don't know what Walker's overall grade is, especially when you line him up against other guys that are out there in free agency or the young players that might come off the college boards. So this probably made the most sense from a financial standpoint. In terms of job security and all that, that's a whole another different thing, because these owners can go to sleep one night and everybody's good and they wake up the next day and everybody's gone. You just never know. So,
by the way, for comparison's sake, Walker Little at this moment is the 40th, tied for 40th in terms of most money on an average annual salary among offensive linemen. That's getting the $15 million. So there are 39 guys already on the offensive line making more than that. So this is not a top-of-the-market deal.
Right.
People are going to look at that and go, oh, my gosh, is he worth this? Well, you get to free agency, you're probably going to make more than that, honestly.
Yeah. And that's why they got all those systems you can plug and play and kind of see, look at what he's done in terms of play and what we might have to play for the bigger names and say for salary cap reasons, this make the most sense for us to have maybe just a above average player. And again, I don't know what his grades are.
Right.
I know that when he's out there, he's been consistent and,
no sacks allowed today.
No.
Pretty good pair of edge rushers there.
Absolutely.
Houston, so.
All right, next week, Jaguars heading to Nashville to face the Tennessee Titans.
Broadway, USA.
Yeah, they stink. They're 3-8, but they're they lost today, 42-19 final score. Washington beat them. A few blowout losses. Detroit got them bad, 52-14. Bills got them bad, 34-10. The Packers got them by 16 earlier in the year. They've beaten the Dolphins, the Patriots, and the Texans. So, Will Levis, what do you make of the Titans?
Yeah, well, they beat two teams that we haven't beaten. We can start with that.
True.
And they played the Jags hard all the time. I like that Will Levis is gutsy. He's a competitor. He reminds me a bit of Phillip Rivers, although Phillip was a better quarterback overall. But, again, this is a guy who's fiery, and he just wants to get out there and try and prove people wrong. So it'll be an interesting matchup. Tony Pollard, he's been one of the bright spots, and I know because he's on my fantasy football team. So I kind of peek in for that. But the Titans, they aren't a great team. Jacksonville, I think it should be a good matchup considering Jacksonville isn't a great team. Hopefully they can go up there to Nashville and come back home with a win.
I like Will Levis because he'll probably throw you one or two.
Yeah, he can get that done too.
Right.
He can get that done too. He probably hang out too much on Broadway. They got the what is it called? The Bachelorette capital of the world.
Is that right?
Right.
I think we'll be hanging out. Maybe. I don't know.
Do
I
you
don't
own
put
a
that out
long
there.
time since I've
I don't want to put that out there on the young man.
Let's just say.
You know what? I was just hanging out in Nashville doing some podcast stuff. And that's sort of kind of what came across.
Did you make your way down the Broadway?
I like the live music. I don't care about the
country music
Bachelorette part.
fan, are you?
I'm more of a live music fan.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I'm learning more. The country music is like just amazing. The storytelling behind it.
See?
Like you really got to get into it. So I got a nice beat, some nice words.
Young up-and-comer named Beyonce.
And a tequila or two.
Yeah, the tequila doesn't hurt, I guess.
It doesn't hurt.
Do you own a pair of cowboy boots?
No, but I'm going to buy some. I'm going to get me a nice hat, a belt, and some boots to match. And the jeans and everything in between don't matter. But if you got a nice hat and some boots and a nice belt with a beautiful buckle, you're good to go.
Now we're talking.
Country Fred can't survive.
That's right.
I mean, Shabuzi encourages all of us. He did well during the Thanksgiving game for the Lions, so I'm encouraged.
Fred will look forward to seeing that get up next week. We'll count on you.
Who said it was going to
to
be next week, JP? What are you doing? I never said that.
Before the end of the season, we got to get this done. And
You and JP matching outfits. Come on.
Yeah.
We
Let's
can
go
do
for
that.
That would be funny.
We do like Brothers. What's his name? What was the show with the brothers?
Step Brothers?
Step Brothers. Step Brothers.
Don't start quoting that movie, all right?
Yeah, no.
We want to keep our license.
Let's put it off, JP. I'm ready.
Let's do it. Fred, have a good week. We'll talk to you, man.
Where the good cowboy shops at in town? Y'all tweet us.
We got
We
some.
coming through.
We will be there for sure. That's Fred Taylor, Mike Dempsey. I'm JP Shadrick. Thanks to David Cho, our entire crew. If you're on our flagship station, 1010XL, stick around. The Scoreboard Show is next. We'll get your calls after this 23-20 loss for the Jaguars to the Houston Texans. And this is the Jaguars Radio Network.
Welcome to the Jaguars Scoreboard Show. This is your chance, Jaguars fans, to sound off about today's game. The Jaguars Scoreboard Show is brought to you by University of Florida Health, Farah and Farah, Baptist Health, and by Everbank. Now, waiting to hear from you, here are Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks, and JP Shadrick.
And welcome in. It's the Scoreboard Show, 355-NFL-1, the number 355-6351. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Brian Sexton jumping in with us now after 23-20. Jaguars lost to the Houston Texans. 2-10, officially eliminated from division title contention. A sliver of wild card hope still not
What are we
fully
talking about?
eliminated.
Like human hair.
Got to
thin?
win them all and have Denver lose them all.
Yeah.
Oh.
We think is the only way possible.
We think.
Looking at the
Well, let's start with
standings-
the first one. Win them all.
Right. Well, but you asked what the
I know, I
path
know.
is, so
I
that's the
know.
path. The path was always going to be win them all.
Yes.
I think it was.
So there you have it. Obviously, the number one storyline today, outside of the losing result, was losing the quarterback today, and the fisticuffs that ensued after that, and the way the team fought for their quarterback today.
Well, you did see the way that they drilled the ball right into the middle of that defense. I hadn't seen that kind of energy from this team in a while. You hate that that's why it happened, but if they had all just gone and turned and walked to the sideline, I mean, that would have been a huge problem.
Oh, yeah.
You needed something to get this team going, and then Mac Jones didn't play all that well, but in the fourth quarter came up with those two drives, and I heard you say it. If Cam Little hits the field goal, right? And not just for the points, but because you're kicking off and not giving them a 55-yard
Correct.
field, right? I mean, of course, if Darnell Savage doesn't go, hey, there's the tight end, I'm going to go this way. I mean, that just blew my mind today that he did that. I give Mac Jones a lot of credit. In fact, it was one of my quick thoughts for tomorrow's Jaguars.com, is that he came in and settled in because you might need him. He might be your guy again, and so you're going to need him to feel comfortable, and at least now you feel like you can do some things.
Yeah, I'd be surprised at a bare minimum if he's not the quarterback next week.
Right.
You know, when you have that kind of physical reaction to
Yeah.
the head trauma, that's, more than just your typical concussion.
That's going to be a conversation going on tonight. You can be sure.
Oh, no doubt about it.
How we're going to handle this.
As it should be.
Yep.
I mean, I think, JP, you said it's other than the result, I think it's more important than the result.
Oh, yeah, right.
And I know.
The long-term future of the franchise, really. Yeah.
Look, even if you win, okay, the division is, quote-unquote, still in play. You know, the Jags had one out from this point. They were a 20% chance to make the postseason. So it likely, even if they had done that, we're not going to get the help that they needed. I mean, just to see that from Trevor Lawrence, who's out there playing at less than 100%, giving it for his teammates. And I was so happy that we got the response that we got. And whatever Jarian Jones did, I don't know. Fine.
There'd be a lot of
He gets
people
a
willing
pass
to
from me.
throw some money in the jar to help him out
You
with
know
those
what?
funds.
Had it gone over what it happened, Fine with me.
Yep.
You know, that's me. I'm not speaking for the organization or Doug Peterson.
I like to see
else.
Brandon Sheriff mixing it up as well.
Hey, I love that. You know, because what he did, because Azeez Al-Shaair is running around like a lunatic at this point, as if he has any case for anything.
No.
What, you know, and so his helmet's off, and Sheriff's like, oh, you want some? He just took his helmet right off.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not going to hide behind this face mask. So,
that is
yeah.
corn-fed beef, and I'm not sure you really want to mess with that.
I wouldn't have wanted to mess with any Jags in that moment. Mac Jones, JP, we're sitting here. We watch. He got like a glancing blow off the helmet, right, when he's running. And he was like, all right, that's it. All right, here we go. So,
right.
You know, everybody took a little. It's a shame, honestly, that the half ended when it did, because it kind of takes a little of that emotion away from you.
You had to go in the locker room, and then they,
you know, if that happens in the beginning of the third quarter, who knows what
Right.
you're able to ride out.
And then the next time C.J. Stroud runs wide on the sideline, look out. You never know. But they had a chance. You know, they could have done that there, but they chose not to.
Here's the other important – that's a division game. And Mike, I know you remember 1997 in Pittsburgh when Greg Lloyd attacked Keenan McCardell. There had to be retribution. You can't let that other team be your bully in your division. There had to be a explosive reaction. And I'll be honest with you, I was cheering for more. I mean, that was the irrational side of me. I understood you can't have everybody throwing punches on the sideline and everybody getting ejected. But for a team that hadn't had a lot of emotion or shown a lot of emotion, it all came out.
Yeah, and it wasn't one of those that your quarterback got caught in a bad position and happened to get hurt. It was a beat too late, and the guy couldn't pull up. I mean, we've seen the still shot. Trevor's full into his slide. There's no contact. These guys have been trained. You can kind of dive and slide right over the top.
Or instead of your forearm, just put your hands out.
You don't have to lead with the forearm.
Right. Just put your hands out.
Yeah.
Right? Hit him on the shoulder pads if that's what you're going to do. You still may get a foul.
Right, maybe. Right.
And then he gets up like with his hands up. What did I do?
What did I do?
What?
The smartest thing that I just read was from a guy, Jason Whitlock, who said that the suspension should go as long as Trevor is out.
That's been talked about for years now.
I think that's absolutely the case.
Yeah, you could play games with that a little bit, though, because like if one of your backups gets hurt, you go, hey, we're going to stick you on IR for the rest of the season. And then, you know what I mean? But I do tend to agree in a case like this when it was so blatantly obvious that you cost us our quarterback.
And tell me if you weren't thinking as he went around the end, Trevor, slide.
Well, I was worried about the shoulder.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh,
and he did,
get down.
Sliding, and he did. And I audible gasp from Fred and me. Yeah. Did we just see what we saw?
Yeah.
When we were growing up. That might have drawn a flag at some point in our history, 70s and 80s.
That's right.
But it would have drawn a fight. You don't hit the quarterback like that without getting a reaction from the team. Now, when was the last time you saw that vicious of a hit on a quarterback?
Right. Not one where you're throwing a forearm. We've seen guys dive in and their helmets hit, and it can look vicious, and it's hard to judge intent.
That was vicious.
There was no hard to judge intent on this. It was clear what the intent was. It was to deliver a knockout shot, and I guess successful. But for him to run around and act like, what did I do?
Right.
Is appalling, honestly.
Texans get the win over the Jaguars today, 23-20. Phone lines are open, 355-NFL-1, the number 355-6351. Your calls after this on the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Join the Jaguars in Miami and Houston. Watch them win in Philly, Detroit, Nashville, and Las Vegas. All the other Jaguars games are just one short connection away. And if airport parking has you stressed, be sure to visit the Jax Airport website before traveling to the terminal. On it, you'll find information about the status of on-airport parking in real time. See if your favorite areas are available or if you need to call an audible. Visit flyjax.com for more information.
Jags fans, are you ready to upgrade your living space? Enter for a chance to win the ultimate furniture giveaway. You could enhance your home with a new sectional, queen mattress, or queen bedroom set, courtesy of Furniture Source. One lucky fan will receive new furniture after every Jaguars home game this season. Don't miss out. Enter today by visiting jaguars.com/sweepstakes. Jaguars.com/sweepstakes. Selections will vary by game.
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Brooks Rehabilitation is proud to be the official rehabilitation partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We are here for them, and we are here for you. Ranked #1 physical rehabilitation hospital in Florida by U.S. News and World Report, our playbook is individualized treatment and exceptional care to get you back to living your life. Brooks has cutting-edge technology and therapy solutions in every care setting, treating sports injury, orthopedics, brain, spinal injuries, and more. Go beyond your expectations with Brooks Rehabilitation.
A quality replacement window made with Fibrex material, which is 2 times stronger than vinyl, delivered through a stress-free process. Welcome to Renewal by Anderson. Get the peace of mind knowing Renewal by Anderson handles everything from start to finish. With one call, you'll enjoy working with the best people, exclusive products, and superior process. It's the people, it's the process, it's the product. For a limited time, buy one, get one 40% off all windows and doors, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back, Scoreboard Show. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Brian Sexton. We're at the Hyundai Studios. 23-20 Texans over the Jaguars. Brian,
the worst hit a Jaguars quarterback has taken is the one that we saw, that cheap shot, right? I went back to look at a hit that some Jaguars fans may remember in 2001. It was early in the season, week 3, and Gerard Warren, the big defensive tackle for them, after an interception that Brunell threw, just helmet to helmet, just cold-cocked him. And Brunell was done for the game. It was the first offensive series of the game for the Jaguars. And there was no penalty thrown on it. None. If you go back, you can find it on YouTube. You can see it. Huge hit. I mean, helmet to helmet, vicious hit. Right. I remember Baselli he wasn't even playing that day because he had a shoulder injury, and he was just beside himself. And Mark goes cold in the turf, out cold. No penalty. That's the way the league used to play the game, and they changed it for a reason because the quarterback is so critical to the television. They need quarterbacks on the field so that you don't have Cooper Rush against whoever was for the Giants the other day. I can't remember.
Drew Lock.
Yeah, Drew Lock, right? Anyway, so today's hit, I think, is the worst cheap shot I can remember on a Jaguars quarterback, but the other one was in 2001.
Well, I mean, Jeff Flogman tells the stories of those days in the 80s and early 90s where, I mean, if it's an interception, you're going to find where is the quarterback. We're going to go cream this guy. That's what you do.
And you can't really fault them if that's what the rules allow, right? You're getting a free shot and a free opportunity to hunt. All right, let's get out to it. 355 NFL 1. We'll start with Mac checking in from Tampa. Mac, you're on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead, please.
Hey, how you guys doing? It's actually Matt, but it's all good.
Hey, Matt.
Two things on my mind. First one is obviously about the hit. We're 2-9. Shad Khan has came out and said we would make changes in this organization. Well, changes don't come. Trevor Lawrence plays this week even with the shoulder injury. My first thought is, why is he out there? Why is a man who's not 100%, who is, at this point, we can call a spade, not playing for much of anything, taking hits like this on the field and getting injured and putting the future of the team at jeopardy, and not just himself, but this organization. second thing is Parker Washington needs a spot permanently in this organization. He is by far one of the most exciting prospects I've seen that we've built as a wide receiver. His catch radius is amazing. He makes these just unbelievable acrobatic plays for a guy who's 5'11", 6 feet. Just has this can-do attitude, and, I mean, it's one of the most exciting players, I would say, that we have in this organization right now with Kirk and Davis being out. So, yeah.
Appreciate the call. I don't remember Shad ever saying there were going to be changes, first of all. He never said a word.
No, there were vague reports from Ian Rappaport
that's right.
It could, he would use words like could and possibly.
Right.
Never quoted anybody, never even claimed he had a source.
Shad is not Jerry Jones. He does not talk to the media. No. He does not do radio shows. When he makes a move, you hear about it because he lets you know, hey, I'm making a move. He doesn't put it out there.
And look, I get, if Trevor Lawrence couldn't protect himself today, I would understand.
They wouldn't have put him out there.
Right. But the shoulder had nothing to do with what happened today. No. And that kind of, if somebody's going to take your head off in a dirty play, I mean, to say there's nothing to play for, the guy's getting paid ridiculous money, and he's the quarterback of the football team. And how are you going to lead that group if you go, hey, you know what, Parker, Brian, you guys go out there and maybe you'll get an ACL tear or whatever, but I'm not going to get hurt because I'm too important to the – Now that he's got a concussion and you're compounding things, you're in a different space right now. But I don't have any issue with Trevor Lawrence playing.
By the way, the coaches and players don't believe that there's nothing to play for. You go walk through the coaching offices or go down into the locker room. Every one of those guys is coaching and playing for their football future, whether it's here or whether it's somewhere else. Every day, every play, everything you do is scrutinized. So every game matters.
So think about it. After Trevor's rookie year, they had the first pick again. Once they were eliminated, should they have benched him at that point and just not played? I mean, is that what we're going to do anytime we're out of the mathematical playoff contention? We're just going to bench the quarterback the rest of the year.
Now, Matt, on Parker Washington, totally agree. I mean, he's a guy with a different kind of style than Christian Kirk, but he's not 5'11". I mean, he's maybe 5'9". Right. He
left a couple out there today, too, by the way. He had a good game, 100-yard game. Congratulations, all that. Touchdown, but he dropped another one.
He dropped another one. The play where he scored the touchdown, where he looked like he was at the very height of his jumping radius, pulled it down and turned up the field. He's a guy from that 2023 draft class that there's a lot of hope for, and I think eventually he's the replacement for Christian Kirk.
Maybe
that's what you draft him for.
Next year.
Right.
I mean, if the rumors were true that they would have been dealt to Pittsburgh.
Kirk has a $27 million cap figure next year, and he's not your number one receiver.
So, all right, Matt, thank you for the call. Let's go to Saqib in Keystone. Saqib, you're on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead, please.
Hey, guys. Even though I hope Trevor is okay, can you explain to me, I know that was a dirty hit. I hope he gets suspended for the rest of the season. Can you explain to me why? I know you probably said it. Why is our general manager, who's probably a lame duck general manager, why is he allowed to make those kind of deals? That means he's coming back. I really don't want him back. I don't want none of them back.
You're talking about the Walker Little deal?
Yes. Can you just explain to me why is that allowed? Why Shad Khan doesn't be like, no, I don't care if I have to pay more next year.
Saqib,
I'm not letting you do it no more. I'm done with you.
It's a mid-level deal. What it really is with $26 million guaranteed is a 2-year, $26 million deal. So it's about $13 million a year, which is what, Mike? About two-thirds
the
of
$15 million average makes him the 40th highest paid offensive lineman
Exactly.
right now.
Right.
Bunch of guys are going to get contracts on top of that this offseason. He's going to be like the 50th, 60th highest paid offensive lineman in the NFL.
It is, I don't want to say it's inconsequential because that's a lot of money. You guarantee $26 million, that's a significant amount of money. But if they had tried to break the bank and do one of those 6-year, $120 million, $80 million guaranteed, the kind that you give a Trent Williams type of player, okay, hold on. I mean, that you're not going to do. That's something that you talk about in the offseason. But this, and I thought you hit on it, Trent Baalke has never been a general manager who wanted to negotiate during the season. This is such a smart business decision for a young player that you think has upside, and the market isn't great for offensive tackles next year, either in free agency or the draft. Not like it was this year. So this was a smart business move for the Jaguars to lock up a young player that they think they can still develop.
And by the way, I do think that for me personally, I feel like this is an indication of Shad Khan not being in the headspace that I'm going to clean house, because if he was in that headspace, I don't know if you take the recommendation from the existing GM if you think you're going to move on from him in this circumstance. And I think you might leave it to the next guy. But if you ask why that's allowed to happen, we don't own the team. One guy does, and he has say over everything that happens.
And he doesn't talk to people. And I don't know if you have more insight into him than I do. And I'm not telling you out of the gate. I don't, right? Because I don't spend a lot of time with Shad. I don't know who he talks to. I don't know his mindset. That's why I'm saying the nature of this 3-year deal, which is 2 years, $26 million, right? It's about a $13 million, because then he can get out of it on the third year of the deal if he doesn't develop as a player. It's so, relatively speaking, it's just not a big enough deal for me to try to interpret what it may or may not mean for what they do in the personnel department going forward. I think it's just a smart business decision.
355 NFL 1, the number 355-6351. We'll return with more of your calls after a Jags loss to the Texans 23-20. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
Hey Jaguars fans, are you tired of being late to the game because you're stuck in traffic looking for a parking space? Well, join the thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smartest way to get to Everbank Field is on JTA's Game Day Express. Shuttles run from 5 locations around Jacksonville. Passes start at $10 and are available exclusively on the MyJTA mobile app. Visit JTAFLA.com for full details. The JTA Game Day Express, where you're winning before the game even starts. Your Game Day Express is sponsored by the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens.
Football is back. Celebrate with a gay Duval meal deal. Score 2 Roller Grill favorites and a 20-ounce Coca-Cola soft drink for just $4.50. That means you can choose any 2 to pair with your Coke. 2 hot dogs, 2 tornadoes, 2 roller bites, or mix and match. Whether you're stopping for a quick snack or tailgating with friends, this is a victory for every Jags fan. Deal happening now through January 2nd, 2025. Stop by to purchase in store.
Frank Frangie here. When you want barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's Pit Barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at Everbank Stadium, because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over 70 years of authentic Southern Pit Barbecue. We are the local barbecue joint in BBQval for generations of people in Jacksonville. Go to bonosbarbecue.com to learn more or call 904-880-8310 today. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
It's the final days of the Black Friday sales event at your local Ford dealer. Don't miss great offers on new inventory arriving daily. Now's the time to take home the legendary Ford F-150, the truck at the top of everyone's list. Or Ford Expedition, an SUV with room for all your passengers and presents. And if you're ready for big holiday thrills, unwrap the Built Wild Bronco SUV. But hurry, offers end December 2nd. Get holiday ready during the final days of the Black Friday sales event at your local Ford dealer.
Scoreboard Show continues after a 23-20 loss to the Texans. Jaguars now 2-10 and officially eliminated from division title contention. 355 NFL 1, 355-6351. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Brian Sexton. Plenty to discuss.
And Harvey and Pontevedra next up on the Scoreboard Show. Harvey, go ahead, please.
Yeah, hey,
Guys, two guys I think we need to move on the defensive side. Andre Sisco and Devin Lloyd. These guys may be great athletes, big hitters, but they get lost in space. They don't understand what's going on. They're misdirections, and the opposition knows it. And we keep seeing these guys give up huge plays week after week. So I'd love to get your thoughts on that.
Appreciate the call. Yeah, Cisco's given up some big stuff earlier in the year. We know that. Those deep overs and stepping the wrong way.
Looked like he was the guy today based on the way it played out. Ronald Darby made up ground after he was beat deep by Tank Dell, and Darby was expecting safety help, and they immediately took Cisco out of the game.
Yeah, agree on Cisco. I don't think he's got a future here. I think Lloyd is good going forward. I thought that was what he was going to do in the middle of this year, right? On the first play of the game, he hit the quarterback, but I agree with you that when you ask him to be in coverage, and he got caught on coverage on Nico Collins a couple of times today, and he just doesn't have that sort of athleticism to do that. So I would guess, based on their production, those are two guys you're not going to sign.
Yeah, well, Devin Lloyd's still under contract.
Yeah, he's got another year.
Yeah. Right? And you could always go the fifth-year option route if you wanted to, depending on how he's playing to end the season. But his cap hit next year is $4.1 million, which it's a lot of money to real people in NFL circles. I don't know if you can replace his ability. And I understand, he's not a perfect player.
No.
And you can say, well, Ventrell Miller replaced him. Well, you drafted Ventrell Miller. He was hurt, and it took him a while to get to the point where you'd feel comfortable playing him to that extent. So just to think you could draft a guy and plug him in, and we'll see. But, I mean, like we said, there's not much cap savings to be had.
I guess it comes down to who's making the decisions, right? I mean, and what's the scheme? How do you find a way? I mean, I thought the move with him to the inside this year was probably a good move. But when he's in coverage, it creates problems.
Let's come back in a moment. 355-NFL-1, the number 355-6351. Phone lines are open after a Jaguars loss to the Houston Texans. Texans sweep the season series. Jaguars now 2-10. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Football is back. Celebrate with a gay Duval meal deal. Score 2 roller grill favorites and a 20-ounce Coca-Cola soft drink for just $4.50. That means you can choose any 2 to pair with your Coke. 2 hot dogs, 2 tornadoes, 2 roller bites, or mix and match. Whether you're stopping for a quick snack or tailgating with friends, this is a victory for every Jags fan. Deal happening now through January 2nd, 2025. Stop by to purchase in store.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Join the Jaguars in Miami and Houston. Watch them win in Philly, Detroit, Nashville, and Las Vegas. All the other Jaguars games are just one short connection away. And if airport parking has you stressed, be sure to visit the Jax Airport website before traveling to the terminal. On it, you'll find information about the status of on-airport parking in real time. See if your favorite areas are available or if you need to call an audible. Visit flyjax.com for more information.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
Hey, Jaguars fans, are you tired of being late to the game because you're stuck in traffic looking for a parking space? Well, join the thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smartest way to get to Everbank Field is on JTA's Game Day Express. Shuttles run from 5 locations around Jacksonville. Passes start at $10 and are available exclusively on the MyJTA mobile app. Visit JTAFLA.com for full details. The JTA Game Day Express, where you're winning before the game even starts. Your Game Day Express is sponsored by the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens.
It's game time, Jaguars fans, and Publix knows that football is all about pairings.
A high-scoring offense paired with a stingy defense. A rocket-armed QB paired with a dynamic wide receiver. And at Publix, you can pair hot deli chicken tenders with savory dips, delicious sub-platters with ice-cold beverages, and you can pair these tailgate essentials with an entire parking lot full of Jaguars fans chanting, Duval! Gear up for your tailgate at Publix, the official supermarket of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
A quality replacement window made with Fibrance material, which is 2 times stronger than vinyl, delivered through a stress-free process. Welcome to Renewal by Anderson. Get the peace of mind knowing Renewal by Anderson handles everything from start to finish. With one call, you'll enjoy working with the best people, exclusive products, and superior process. It's the people, it's the process, it's the product. For a limited time, buy one, get one 40% off all windows and doors, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back, JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Brian Sexton from the Hyundai Studios. 23-20, Texans over the Jaguars in week, was it 13?
Yeah, something like that.
5 to go. 3 in the division, including next week. The Jaguars head to Nashville to face the Tennessee Titans. And today, a loss. The quarterback left the game with a head injury in the second quarter. Trevor Lawrence. Mac Jones finished it out. And, we had one of the calls earlier about Parker Washington, but Brian Thomas needs a little bit too today. I mean, there was a couple of balls that didn't get to him. The one underthrown, obviously, for the interception, and the one overthrown by Mac Jones to him. That those two hit. Then
and he dropped one too. Yeah,
he dropped
different
one.
Game.
Didn't get his feet in bounds, and didn't hold on to that one that was very close, like 1.5 feet in. And if he does, he still got to hang on to the ball going to the ground. But I mean, you could see the athleticism. The leaping ability, the ability to pluck the ball out of the air. They don't do it too much. I'm not saying this is a big staple of his game, but throw him a reverse.
Well, that little rub route over the middle where he gained 56 yards, right? Where he got the linebacker and went right by him. And
well, how about the toss in the backfield to him? To the right?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You're right. Run some. Just get the ball in his hands.
That's cool.
Make sure you're getting some easy touches for him. That's the guy I think we're all looking at as one of the major building blocks. What we got going on.
So what else do you want to see out of him? I mean, just that kind of stuff the rest of the way?
Consistency.
Yeah, just keep doing it.
I like to, the drop he knew today. I'd like to see him bring that touchdown in.
Yeah.
I mean,
you want to see the fight through the rest of this. I mean, this is tough, right? You got 5 more games.
Catch up with Mac Jones' deep ball, Brian. I didn't think he could be overthrown.
No, I didn't either. In fact, I said to Fred, did Mac throw that ball just a little too far inside? And he said, I didn't think that Brian Thomas could be overthrown. And I was almost surprised that Brian got caught from behind when he got to the sideline and made that little inside move. Although those guys were deeper down the field. So I do understand that. You want to see these young guys fight through the last 5 weeks because it's going to be tough for them. Their seasons, right, all have ended in college football now that we're getting to the championship games. And when you're on a team that isn't winning and it's tough to go to work, you want to see these guys fight through it.
So we'll see.
I think we will. I mean, look, they fought today.
Yeah.
Right now, they didn't show that heading into the bye, so mixed bag. And now that the reality is kind of setting in, maybe you felt like, all right, we got the Texans. Let's win this and see where we stand after a week, and you may be mathematically eliminated by the next time you take the field.
Well, I mean, you win this one today, and then all of a sudden you have something that they haven't felt in that room all year long. Momentum.
Yeah.
A little wind at your back. See how you progress, and hopefully your quarterback gets through healthy, neither of which happened today, so it's a moot point.
Let's come back in a moment. Our final thoughts after this Week 13 loss for the Jags to the Texans, 23-20, and a pool reporter with the referee Lan Clark discussing all the ejections today. We'll get to some of the quotes out of that report when we come back. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Dailies Dash today to get your delicious Duval sub. Dailies is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
When disaster strikes, trust the experts at Surf Pro. As a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, they bring the same dedication and precision to restoring your property as the Jaguars do on the field. Whether it's water, fire, or storm damage, their highly trained professionals are on call 24/7 to make it like it never even happened. Surf Pro, your local leader in restoration and cleanup. Headquartered in Jacksonville, Florida, CSI Companies partners with leading healthcare and technology organizations nationwide to deliver workforce solutions. CSI prides itself on building meaningful relationships and provides personalized operations to fuel the success of businesses, both big and small. Whether it's finding the right talent for a job or seamlessly managing a project from start to finish, CSI has 3 decades of experience in getting the job done. This is your workforce solutions reimagined. Visit CSICompanies.com.
Hey fans, it's Tyson Campbell, cornerback for the Jacksonville Jaguars. This season, your game day is getting even tastier with Al's Pizza in the stadium. And every time we get a pick, you'll score. If the Jaguars get 1 interception, you'll enjoy buy one, get one free pizza at any Al's Pizza location Monday through Thursday after the home game. 2 interceptions, a free dessert. And 3 interceptions, that's a free appetizer. Just tell them you want the Jags pick. Up your game and get your Al's Pizza at the game or any of their locations.
A gift this good takes a while to unwrap. Get your best gift ever during the Toyotathon sales event before it's too late. Get 3.99% APR for 36 months on the new 2024 Toyota RAV4 Hybrid. Offer valid through December 2nd, 2024. 0 down for well-qualified buyers with approved credit and financing through Southeast Toyota Finance. $29.52 monthly payment for every $1,000 financed. Excludes tax, tag, registration, title, and dealer fees. See dealer for details. Toyota. Let's go places.
Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back to Scoreboard Show. Final moments here after Jaguars lost to the Texans 23-20. The Pro Football Writers of America work with the league each year, and they assign pool reporters in every NFL market. The pool reporter here in Jacksonville is Mark Long of the Associated Press. He interviewed referee Lan Clark after the game today and asked him why Al Shire was disqualified. He said an illegal hit on the quarterback, unnecessary to the neck and head area. The next question, what led to Jaguars cornerback Jarian Jones being ejected along with Al Shire? Clark said, quote, he came off the bench and threw a punch, end quote. And then that was it was a punch at a player. Why weren't any Houston players ejected for leaving the sideline bench area and crossing the field? Clark said, quote, there was no action observed that rose to the level of disqualifying. They were mostly restraining their own players, end quote. There's a few other quotes in there as well. But
it was a rescue mission.
That is kind of the idea, yeah. And then he was asked later, why was there not a second flag when Al Shire came back around while he was trying to leave the field and all that? Clark said, quote, he was already disqualified when he was leaving the field. We did not consider it, end quote. It was already done. He was already out anyway.
All right, so you get thrown out. You can do whatever you want.
No, but yeah. So there you go. That's where we are. Jaguars are 2-10, and they're heading to Nashville next week. Tennessee Titans got blown out today.
They are 3-9.
They are,
but they beat the Texans last week.
3-8.
I think they're 3-9. I thought they were
Tennessee 3-9. You're right.
Yeah,
I'm wrong.
Okay,
3-9. Either way,
mark that down, Mike.
Yeah. Save it.
Just one more thing on Walker Little, because we were talking about the value of his deal. Played really well today. He saw a healthy dose of Will Anderson. And Anderson didn't sniff the quarterback. And he saw some Danielle Hunter as well. And those are two guys that have a combined 20 sacks. So the offensive line did their job and kept their quarterback upright. You know, they were feeling that heat this week. The talk was protect the quarterback with the shoulder the way that it was. And, you know, he was injured when he got outside the pocket. So the offensive line is not, I mean, there's lots of things you can talk about with the offensive line that's not great. But Walker Little and Anton Harrison did their job against those two pass rushers today.
But really everybody did
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't run the ball great, but they haven't really run the ball great all year, right? And the way they started, I think Tank Bigsby ended up right around 4 yards a carry. I felt like after they got that adrenaline injection that things picked up a little bit. It's still a dominant performance by any means, but they got a little bit better in the last 2.5 quarters.
All right, Jaguars Titans next week in Nashville, and it'll be a busy week, I'm sure, on Jaguars Today.
Still stuck with a lot of Victory Monday shirts that we have yet to give away. So
5 weeks.
We got 5 to go, right?
Man.
Thought we might be out of them by now.
London was the last win.
I don't know anything about these shirts.
Yeah,
Are they attractive? Would one look good on me?
It would look good on you. Let's see if they win another game. You'll be eligible. But no, they really are.
It's what we're left with, right?
They're pretty simple. You know, they're teal and gold lettering on white, but they're nice material, you know, good shirts. And we ordered 100 of them. We've still got like 80-something left.
Hopefully they'll be utilized at some point this year. That'd be
sure
great.
they will.
Jags AM tomorrow?
Jags AM tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure what to say other than we will do a show.
Jaguars.com and social media and Jags YouTube. And, of course, we'll have Jaguars Happy Hour 4 to 6. Pete Prisco, Tony Baselli. We'll have plenty to discuss.
And I've got a Jags Wired to write this evening for Wednesday night.
Good luck.
Thank you.
It should. We're all counting on you. That's the final score, 23-20. Texans over the Jaguars. That's Brian Sexton. That's Mike Dempsey. I'm JP Shadrick. Thanks to our entire crew, and thanks to you for listening. If you didn't get in here, the 5th quarter is next. They'll take your calls. This has been the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.